How's it going, everybody? I'm back with another deep dive into a retro bodybuilding magazine. We have Muscle and Fitness from March 2002. All right. So, and by the way, there's some work being done outside. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but I can hear it plain as day. So I hope it isn't distracting. So yeah, just like I said on the video I dropped the other day, I mentioned that it seems like in the early 2000s there were fewer pictures of bodybuilders on the cover. They seem to go with fitness models or whatever, and the same applies with this magazine. We have some fitness model on the cover. I don't know who that is. She obviously isn't a bodybuilder, but so be it. I do know, although I haven't covered it yet, I have an issue with Arnold on the cover from 2001. Came with a free poster. I'll get to that eventually. So I do know. I mean, but Arnold was retired by then. But I just wonder what they were. Like I said before, maybe they were just trying to diversify. Yeah. And they owned Flex. If I'm not mistaken, Flex and Muscle and Fitness were run by the same company. So I mean, and they often cater to bodybuilders on Flex. So maybe they just tried to diversify a little bit for Muscle and Fitness. Who knows? But glutamine is used for stopping atrophy. And I said this before. Ronnie looks pretty symmetrical in this picture here. I said before that I had heard that they used it on bedridden patients. People in comas. And what's the word I'm looking for? There's a specific word I'm looking for. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but people in comas, people who were unable to move for long periods of time, they would give them glutamine in order to prevent the atrophying of their muscles. Because obviously, when you're bedridden, it's pretty tough to move around, and if you don't use it, you tend to lose it. So, glutamine is a pretty good supplement. Way better than anabolic assistance. What is this? Oh, ZMA. I remember that. Yeah, man. Back in the day, we always had to know something about these supplements. I mean, but then again, that depended on what gym you worked at. I tended to work at gyms that had a lot of ambitious people, ambitious in terms of wanting to grow. Particularly the gay gyms that I worked at, like Body Smith Personal Training and Evolution Fitness. There were a lot of gay men there who were hell-bent on getting bigger. So I see this in like every issue of Muscle and Fitness is grow muscle while you sleep. Yet a lot of the men there were hell-bent on getting bigger, so they were always interested in certain supplements. So we had to know a bit about this stuff. Natural Tech. Big old Ronnie. Yeah, this is this was somewhat early in his career. He got a bit bigger than this eventually. Ronnie trains biceps after back. Yeah, that's freaking common sense. You better be training biceps after back. I did a video where I use video game footage. It's called "The Gym is Not an Open World Video Game," and I actually talk about that, about how people just randomly go from exercise to exercise based on what they feel like doing in the moment. You know, and I've seen that so many times working in gyms. You just watch people work out and their routines are just ridiculous. Like they think that they can just go from exercise to exercise. Like, hey, that machine over there is free. I'll go do that. Hey, that exercise that guy over there is doing looks interesting. I think I'll go try that. You know, exercise doesn't work that way. Your first exercise pretty much dictates your second. Second exercise dictates your third. Third exercise dictates your fourth. That's pretty much how it works. You know, but you just don't randomly go from exercise to exercise based on what equipment is free or based on what you feel like doing. But that's what most people do. That's what the vast majority of people do, because they don't know how to design programs. And I get it. You know, it's not easy to learn that stuff. But if you're doing biceps before you do your back, you're screwing up big time. It's really stupid, because your biceps are an assisting muscle groups. Pardon me, your biceps are an assisting muscle group. They're a small assisting muscle group that helps your back when you do pull-ups or lat pull downs or any pulling movement, rows of any type. Your biceps are actually the weak link. And if you train your biceps first and then do your back, I mean, it's just to a professional, that's like listening to somebody scratch their nails down a chalkboard. It's irritating because it's wrong. So if you do your triceps before your chest, you screwed up your whole workout. You may as well go the fuck home. Seriously. You know, if you do your triceps before your shoulders, you may as well just take your ass home. Just come back another day, because your shoulder workout is not going to mean anything, because your weak link has been made weaker. And I've seen that so many times. People just randomly go from exercise to exercise. But look up a video called "The Gym is Not an Open World Video Game." You know, I talk about that using video game footage. I love the video, but it didn't get any freaking views. Like, what is wrong with you people? Some of the best stuff just gets ignored. But, you know, look it up. PLA Mind and Body Works, of course. But it really explains everything I said using the footage from an open world video game. Because if you've ever played an open world video game, some people ignore the plot sometimes, and they'll just do what they want to do based on what they feel like doing in the moment. You know, like Grand Theft Auto, you'll just, you know, run around and, yeah, this is a body types. But these aren't pure, though. Most people aren't just one or the other. You have ectomesomorphs and mesoectomorphs and endomorphic mesomorphs. It gets complicated, but these are the three basic body types, or somatotypes. That's another word for it. But if you've ever played Grand Theft Auto or Saints Row, sometimes you just may choose to not follow the story, and you'll just go around doing what you want to do. Just getting in random shootouts with characters, or hitting people, or whatever, you know, and getting in the car and just driving all over the place and crashing into other cars, making the police chase you. Some people just do that just for fun. And then if they decide they want to follow the narrative, they can do that whenever they want. And I think a lot of people approach their gym experiences like that, like it's an open world video game. And hey, man, when you're in the gym, you need to follow the narrative. Or better yet, you need to get one first. And most people don't have one. That's all they can do is just randomly go from exercise to exercise. You know, and you can't train your lower back before you do squats. Yeah, it literally makes no sense because when you do the squat, your weak link, one of your supporting muscle groups has been made weaker. And the most egregious version, in my opinion, is when people train lower back before they do squats. Because when you do a squat, your lower back is a major support. It's a support system, kind of like a supporting actor in a movie, and if you make it weaker, and you decide to squat heavy, you can get hurt. You can get hurt. So remember that. The rule of thumb is to start with the bigger muscle groups, and the bigger compound movements like squats, deadlifts, bent over rows, seated rows, overhead presses, bench presses. All of these are double joint movements. And if you do them first and then move on to the single joint movements, it's a lot harder to go wrong. So, building a better biceps routine. Want bigger guns? Follow these 7 steps. It'll give you a shot at them. Yeah, I mean, they're trying, but there are people out here, man. Like I've had so many clients that just wanted bigger arms or just wanted bigger whatever, and man, genetics just makes a huge difference. There's some people with some genetic potential, some people with a lot. Some people just walk into the gym and they're already shredded and muscular. They're just born that way. And some people have 0 genetic potential. And I know that's something that I think that the fitness industry wants to keep hush-hush because they want people to go to the gym. And if they know they aren't going to be able to impress anybody with a great body, then they won't come. So I think they want you to think, oh, well, if you're not growing, you aren't doing the right thing. But I really would like to get people to understand that even if you don't have the genetics for a beautiful body, there's still a lot that you can get out of the gym or out of strength training. And for the record, I hate gyms. I work out at home. I've spent my life in gyms, working in them, and obviously training in them. And over time, I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of gym culture. So, I work out at home. I've been doing that for years. I don't need an audience. I'm not trying to impress anybody. Been there, done that. I used to work out at the gyms where I worked. And, you put on a tank top or put on like a tight shirt and start lifting and you get, a pump and, people stare at you. And when I was younger, I do think I got kind of a rush from that, but I don't need it anymore. Yeah. To me, working out is almost like meditating, man. You don't need an audience. You don't need to impress anybody. You guys will get a lot more out of it once you figure that out. Because, a lot of people go to the gym just to be seen. And also, they're motivated by having an audience. And that's bad, in my opinion. You should be motivated by yourself and what it's ultimately going to do for you, what it's going to do for your quality of life. Not impressing people. But social media has turned people into fucking show-offs, man. Like, everybody's trying to impress people. It's so corny. Fucking pathetic, man. Do it for you. You know. Oh boy, the Hard Gainer's Guide to Size. Yeah, they keep trying to sell you on that, man. Oh man, they're really, they just don't care about lying to your ass, man. It's like they target these skinny guys who want to get bigger, and they have a bullseye right on your head, and they target you with these ads. You know, and you'll buy this stuff. And maybe you'll gain a tiny bit of size, if any. Most likely you won't get any. That depends on your genetics. You know, and then they've made another sale. But the secret is, this stuff is so genetic, man. And there's, you know, supplements, man. Like I said, I've trained people who got on anabolic assistance, and their genetics was so bad that they still didn't get bigger. That's possible. The idea that using the juice is going to make anybody bigger is just not true. You know, the pro bodybuilders who are on that stuff, yeah, they're on something. And in addition to that, they're really genetically gifted. So this one was all right, but you know, I admit I do like to see a little bit more from bodybuilders. You know, at least a few more pictures. I mean, there's just wasn't much. A couple of pictures of Ronnie. You know, a couple of old pictures of Arnold. You got Lee Priest here. I believe that's Lee Priest. Yeah, that's Lee Priest. But not many bodybuilders. All right. So I'd like to thank you guys for watching another episode of PLA Mind and Body Works. And if you liked it, please click like, comment, and subscribe. And I will return with more information and content on the fitness industry, personal training, and strength training in general. 2002. All right. Thanks for watching. See you guys soon. Bye-bye.